Most Americans think they're doing everything right for retirement. They contribute to a 401k, buy a house, and work hard for 40 years. But the data tells a very different story. According to Federal Reserve data, many Americans approaching retirement have far less saved than they expected. And here's the scary part. After decades of hard work, most Americans still won't retire rich. So what's going wrong? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Retiring rich isn't about how much money you make. It's about avoiding a few financial mistakes that quietly destroy wealth over time. And millions of Americans are making these mistakes right now. Stay until the end, because the final mistake could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars by retirement. With inflation remaining elevated and retirement becoming more expensive every year, this topic matters now more than ever. Let's get started. First reason: Americans start too late. The biggest wealth killer isn't inflation. It isn't taxes. It's time. Think about this. Investor Sarah starts investing $500 a month at age 25 and stops at 35. Investor Mike waits until age 35 and invests the same amount every month until retirement. Who wins? In many scenarios, Sarah ends up with more money even though she invested for only 10 years. Why? Compound growth. Money doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows exponentially. This changes everything. The first decade of investing may be the most valuable decade of your entire life. Every year you wait makes retirement dramatically more expensive. A 30-year-old often has to invest nearly twice as much as a 20-year-old to reach the same goal. Not because investing got harder, but because time disappeared. And once time is gone, you can never buy it back. Here's the part nobody talks about. The biggest risk in investing isn't losing money. It's waiting too long to start. But wait, it gets worse. Second reason: most Americans save too little. Americans love talking about investing, but saving comes first. According to retirement studies, many financial experts recommend saving around 15% of income over a career, yet millions never get close. Why? Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, you upgrade your car, move into a bigger home, take more expensive vacations. Suddenly, your income doubled, but your net worth barely moved. The data tells a different story. Millionaires don't become wealthy because they earn more. They become wealthy because they keep more. Small financial habits repeated over decades create massive results. And here's a hidden truth. Many people increase their spending every time they get a raise, but wealthy people often increase their investments first. And here's where things become dangerous. Third reason: a 401k alone isn't enough. Many Americans believe opening a 401k guarantees retirement success. It doesn't. A 401k is one of the best wealth-building tools available, especially if your employer offers a match. That's free money. But here's the problem. A 401k is a tool, not a retirement plan. Retirement isn't a number, it's a lifestyle. And inflation keeps moving the goalposts. At just 3% inflation, prices roughly double every 24 years. That means a lifestyle costing $50,000 today could require nearly $100,000 in the future. Most Americans don't realize this. Wealthy retirees usually have multiple income streams: 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, real estate, Social Security, and sometimes even part-time work. Diversification isn't just for investing, it's for income too. After years of interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, borrowing costs have risen sharply, making retirement planning even harder for millions of Americans. Ready for the most expensive mistake of all? But here's where things get dangerous. Debt quietly destroys wealth. Debt steals from your future self. Credit card debt is one of the biggest wealth killers in America, with many cards charging interest rates above 20%. Think about that. If your investments earn 8% annually, but your debt costs 25%, you're losing ground financially. Yet many people spend more time chasing hot stocks than eliminating expensive debt. The math is simple. High interest debt destroys wealth. Now, here's something controversial. Not all debt is bad. Low interest debt can sometimes be manageable if long-term investment returns exceed borrowing costs. But expensive debt? That's a different story. story because debt doesn't just cost money, it reduces flexibility, limits investing, delays retirement, and during recessions, it can become devastating. And now, for the silent thief that almost nobody sees coming. And finally, Americans underestimate inflation. Inflation is the silent thief of wealth. You don't notice it overnight, but over decades, it changes everything. Imagine retiring with $1 million. Sounds amazing, right? But decades of inflation can dramatically reduce what that money actually buys. And here's the hidden trap. Many people keep too much money sitting in cash. They think they're avoiding risk, but cash has risk too. Inflation risk. Historically, the stock market has outpaced inflation over long periods. Although short-term volatility is inevitable, the biggest risk for many investors isn't market crashes. It's failing to grow wealth faster than inflation. And here's an important reality check. AI stocks may create future millionaires, but every technological revolution creates winners and losers. Remember the dot-com bubble? Innovation creates wealth. Speculation destroys it. Successful investors don't rely on one lucky stock. They rely on systems and decades of disciplined behavior. So what can you do today? Increase your retirement contributions by just 1%. Take full advantage of employer matches. Review your investment fees. Build multiple streams of income and automate your investing. Because wealth isn't built through motivation. It's built through systems. Here's the bottom line. Most Americans won't retire rich because small mistakes compound over time. Starting too late, saving too little, relying on a single account, carrying expensive debt, ignoring inflation. None of these mistakes seem dangerous today, but over 30 or 40 years, they can mean the difference between financial freedom and financial stress. And perhaps the biggest risk in retirement isn't running out of money. It's running out of time, because time is the one asset nobody gets back. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's the biggest financial mistake Americans are making right now? Because the people who adapt financially today may become tomorrow's wealthy retirees.